What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Ventures, September 18th, 2019. Look at Litecoin go. Making moves, continue to make moves, really ever since we had this low back in, what was that? End of August. The biggest thing I want to draw your attention to as we do this, start this technical analysis, is the 50 moving average, this blue line. It's been a couple months since Litecoin traded above the 50 moving average. And what I want to do, I want to just real quick click on this, and I want to just show you. If we go to histogram style, I talk about this often. If I could only use, one indicator, it would be the 50 moving average for Bitcoin, for Litecoin, for, finding trend reversals, for finding most likely momentum, continued momentum for Bitcoin and Litecoin. It's the 50 moving average. That is what I would use. We call it an ocean, right? And especially if you tie in the cycles and the stages of Bitcoin and Litecoin, in this long-term trajectory since its beginning, the 50 moving average, this ocean of blue, has consistently given such a clear picture of what is to happen next. So when we have trend reversals, right, we get a very clear picture of Litecoin in this case coming back above the 50 moving average, right, and seeing support there above the 50 moving average. And that is what that looks like coming out of that bear market. This is Litecoin, what it looks like kind of in a bull market, kind of popping up above the 50 moving average consistently, right? And in a bear market, we know what that looks like. You can barely see Litecoin, mostly below the 50 moving average, resistance below the 50 moving average. So let me change the style of this so we can once again take a look at what Litecoin is doing right now. So we'll go back to line and we'll zoom in a little bit. So here we go. Litecoin right now, and this is what we've been tracking to see, are we going to get one of those very bearish scenarios where Litecoin just sees resistance under the 50 moving average? That's what we've been waiting for. And you can see so far, Litecoin has finally broken up above the 50 moving average. Now, simultaneously, Litecoin has broken above the upper trend line of this falling wedge. We talked about potentially this falling wedge being an extremely healthy consolidation pattern that kind of led us into the halving, which is this white line here, and after the halving. The reason why that is so important is because I don't know if you remember me doing technical analysis on our way up here to 140, almost 150, but we talked about going into the halving, a huge consolidation, even potentially to the 60s. I said I didn't think it would happen. However, it was 100% possible given the historical nature of Litecoin and Bitcoin and the way they kind of run in their patterns and their cycles. So that happened, right? We got into the 60s. We retraced. Now, speaking of the last Litecoin halving, you get a sense of the same type of thing happening back then, right? Going into the halving, huge retracement right back to that 50-week moving average. This is a daily chart. And then after that, Litecoin consolidates a little bit, falls into an ascending triangle, a bullish pattern, and we get like an 80% breakouts shortly after the halving. Now, similarly, what you see happening in terms of Litecoin is this. Litecoin consolidating into the halving, right, with a simultaneous bullish pattern, which is this falling wedge. And now shortly after the halving, we have kind of this swing low. Now the question is, are we going to get some similar type of really strong move like we did after that last Litecoin halving, 81% around then? Are we going to get a similar strong move? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to, but what I want to tell you is if we were to, this pattern would set it up, right? So we have a breakout target of around $120 for this falling wedge. Now, right now, we've broken, this is the 4-hour chart, by the way. We've broken the 50 moving average on the daily chart, right? That's one thing. Number two is we have this 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. We talked about that needing to happen yesterday. Well, it has happened. And now we also have this break above this upper trend line. So when we get a break above outside of a pattern, what we look for is support now above that upper trend line, right? Maybe we even go up a little bit. Maybe we're in the 80s. We want to find a retracement and see if we see support there. That could be very bullish, right? This could be a higher low. We have a swing high, and this could be a continuation for a breakout target to 120. That is the bullish setup for Litecoin right now. It's something to keep your eyes on. Alternatively, two things to look out for. This trend line here around $77, the upper trend line, as well as if you go to the daily charts. Let me cruise over here real quick. I have another chart open, and it's probably extremely messy. Support above the 50 moving average, right around $77 as well. Very confluent area where we need much support for Litecoin. Will it happen? Time will tell. All we can do is watch. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you coming by. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of the channel. Thank you so much for coming by. Have a great day, and God bless.